woman who gave birth without having sex. No such thing. So that virgin birth is a Babylonian doctrine. All right. So now, continuing on. Then said they unto him, Who art thou, that we may give an answer to them that sent us? This is Matthew 1:22. What sayest thou of thyself? Verse 23. He said, I am the voice of one crying in the wilderness. Make straight the way of the Lord, as said the prophet Isaiah. You know what I'm saying? So he was quoting the book of Isaiah. We get to understand. I believe he was quoting I believe it's Isaiah the 40th chapter. Don't mark me right or wrong for that. As far as saying I don't know anything, I'm believing it's Isaiah the 40th chapter he's quoting. But when it says who believes thy report, I believe it's Isaiah 40. But he's quoting the scripture from Isaiah. He's not even saying anything about Elijah, and he was Elijah. You understand? Verse 24, and they which were sent were of the Pharisees. Verse 25, and they asked him and said unto him, Why baptizest thou then, if thou be not the Christ nor Elijah, neither that prophet? You know what I'm saying? So they asked him that question. So if they, like I said, a jab at the virgin birth right here, although the show is about reincarnation of the holy men, but my thing is that they would have been looking for a woman that gave birth without having sex. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, Nimrod, Semiramis, Tammuz, okay, a lot of people like Nephtali 1981 like to say, oh, that wasn't that was what you call a myth. You understand that? Oh, that cannot be proven. But Nimrod is in the Bible, and all the doctrines that dealt with Nimrod, half of them is true. And the fact of the matter was the virgin birth, that goes into that as well. If you don't believe it, oh, too damn bad. So now, let's get into the book of 1 Corinthians now. Okay, this is the book of 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter. Okay, let's get into this. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 32. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets, meaning that the reason why men are able to go out there and prophesy the word of the Lord is because the spirit that's in them is of the prophets. So if you're able to teach the word of the Lord and prophesy, meaning bring out this truth and bring out the destruction in these last days, 9 times out of 10 you was doing that back then. All right, the spirit of the prophet is on you to teach, because you was doing that in your past life. That's why Paul said that, you know, everybody has different gifts. Okay, what you was doing in your past life, that spirit follows you throughout your generations. You know what I'm saying? When you come back on this earth 3 or 4 times. All right. So now this is Revelations. Okay, this is the book of Revelation, the 10th chapter and 11th verse. Revelation chapter 10, verse 11. And he said unto me, Thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. So John the Revelator, when you read about him, he died on the island of Patmos. Okay, when he was banned there by Emperor Domitian. Okay, and Virga. It was either Domitian or Virga, one of them. Okay, so now when you check it out, John died there. So when Christ showed the visions of John, he told John he must prophesy again before many people. John was an old man during this time. He never got to do that in his lifetime. So that means that John will have to come back on this earth again and do it. The visions that Christ showed John, that same spirit will come back on John in these last days. John will be able to bring out these scriptures. All right. So I don't know. I mean, it's a possibility that a brother out there that's good in the book of Revelations, okay, could be of that John, because that same spirit of revealment, because that's what the word revelation means, to reveal. That same spirit of revealment, okay, that Christ gave unto John, like we just read, a spirit of a prophet is subject unto him. That same spirit will be on the earth in these last days, breaking down the book of Revelations crystal clear, or giving understanding of it, or bringing out stuff from Revelations that men didn't even thought about. Okay, not to toot your horn to get proud, because that's one of the main reasons why Paul said don't go into genealogies, because like the scripture said, knowledge puffeth up. A man that has great knowledge of the scriptures might tend to act proud, you know what I'm saying, and think he's better than everybody. But Christ, who had knowledge of everything, was a lowly individual amongst his servants, and he even washed the feet of his disciples to show you the lower state that you must be. Like, the higher you exalted, the more humble you should be towards your own people and of your own nation. You understand? So that's why it's not going to be revealed who these men are until Christ come back. And if men are thinking that there's somebody who they are, who are they not, like it tells you that certain men, like in the book of Acts, pulled a lot of men to the side thinking to be somebody. And they led a lot of men to be led astray, and eventually some of them were even far as to be led astray and be put to death. You know what I'm saying? So now, this is the book of Daniel, it's the 12th chapter and the 13th verse. Then I'm going to go into the 2 Samuel prophecy. This is the book of Daniel, the 12th chapter and the 13th verse. And this is what the Lord told and showed unto Daniel the prophet. And he said unto him, after he showed these visions, he said, I'm going to read verse 4. And the scripture said, but thou, or Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book. Meaning that the words, the understanding of the book of Daniel, a lot of the visions that Daniel saw, the Most High said to shut up the words. Meaning Daniel did not reveal it to anyone. He didn't reveal his visions and the understanding of them to anybody. You understand? And it says, and seal the book. So the book of Daniel was to be sealed. And the main reason why it was sealed is so that the other nations wouldn't be able to get the understanding. All right? So the main ones that could understand this Bible are the Israelites. And that's why you Gentiles, you're the one that started teaching that virgin birth in the modern world that we live in. Although it was us that made it up as a pagan Holy Roman Empire. But you Gentiles adopted that, and you more so taught that in your theologian schools. Okay? You teaching that. All right? Guys like Hoyt and Westcott, they perverted, okay, the scriptures into bringing those type of teachings up. You understand? And you guys in Syria that deal with the Peshitta, you guys took out the word, and you rewrote Matthew's to make it say that the book of Matthew, the first chapter, was a genealogy of Mary, and you said that Joseph was the father of Mary. You try to say that Mary had a father named Joseph, and that the Assyrian word, or excuse me, the Aramaic word, which is the language that you Syrians spoke, and we did speak some Aramaic after the Babylonian captivity. It was mixed in with the Hebrew, I agree. But you're trying to say that the original text of the book of Matthew in the New Testament was written in Aramaic, okay? And you saying that the original word there is supposed to say father instead of husband. You understand? So you saying that to uphold your virgin birth doctrine, that Matthew, the first chapter, is a genealogy of who? Instead of Joseph, you're saying that's a genealogy of Mary. Okay? And that Joseph that was spoken of in the book of St. Matthew was actually the name of Mary's father, Joseph. See that? That's the perversion of your doctrine. You understand? So now, that's why the understanding was given unto you Gentiles. Okay? Now, it says, shut up the words and seal the book even to the time of the end. Many should run to and fro, and knowledge should be increased. Talking about in these last days, when the understanding is finally brought out, knowledge is going to be increased, and many shall run to and fro. And also the knowledge of wickedness will increase too. You know what I'm saying? So now, back to what I was saying, verse 13. But go thou thy way till the end be. Meaning Daniel was going to be here in these last days. Daniel's going to be doing exactly what he was doing back then when he was known as a prophet Daniel today. And he will be like that. He's going to go about his way. I mean, the spirit of the prophet will be subject unto the prophet, and the same spirit will be on you today as it was back then. For thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the day. So when Daniel passed away, he would rest, and he will come back on the earth in these last days and stand in his lot. He will be doing the same thing, breaking down the scriptures, teaching the Bible, rebuking the wicked, rebuking the gods of this world and the idol worshiping, their religions, you understand, and bringing out this truth. Okay, and the Lord said that he will be there in the last days. So this is the Lord prophesying in part about Daniel being reincarnated. You understand? Because we know Daniel passed away, but it says he will be here in the last days. So now let's get to 2 Samuel 7 and 12. Okay? I haven't really heard many breakdowns of 2 Samuel, the 7th chapter and the 12th verse amongst Israel, but you Gentiles, I know for a fact, and you Israelites in a Gentile state of mind that follows after them in your Christian philosophy and religion, a lot of you have no understanding of the virgin birth and or 2 Samuel, the 7th chapter and the 12th verse. So I'm going to break it down for you because it does go into a form of reincarnation a little bit. So this is 2 Samuel chapter 7 verse 12. Okay, now